Oh my God, SonicBlu's in the kitchen again. Ah! And he's about to cut the cheese. Oh, that was good. That was good. That was not good. That was bad. That was bad. That was bad. Bad SonicBlu. Bad. Anyway, we are here not to show you how to make carne asada burritos, because I already showed you how to do that. We are going to actually test out an as seen on TV product called Nutri Chopper. That's right, Nutri Chopper. So forget about your slap chops, forget about your mandolins. We got us a Nutri Chopper, and with one press can dice onions, can slice tomatoes and cucumber, can wedge potatoes and apples, and slice eggs, maybe even avocado too. What do you say we give it a test try? Because we got all of these vegetables that are going to be need to dice so we can make pico de gallo sauce for our carne asada. So let's break this thing open and see what we get inside. Because this is more of an unboxing slash... Okay, that was unexpected. This is part of the package, people. Anyway, this is more like an unboxing slash consumer report on the Nutri Chopper. If you want to see my carne asada burrito recipe, stick around, because I will do it again for you, because you're such a nice audience, and I like to repeat myself sometimes. And I don't mean that sarcastically, folks. Here you get the Nutri Chopper destructions, and they are, oh, I see, identification de pièces, bouton d'utilisation, de préparation. No, I'm not French. Okay, I don't understand a word of it, so I will flip to the English side of the destructions. And part identification, that's much better. Okay, so we get the lock-unlock button. There's the main unit, and I guess it's like a thing that goes like that. There's your inserts, and there's our little storage container that fills up when we start dicing things. And so, okay, right away it says, stop, do not force the blade of hard to cut fruit and vegetable. So using one hand, don't want to do that. Using two hands, ding, we do want to do that. Okay, so place them here and here. I guess so it's one of those kind of things. And then I guess it just comes through out the bottom. So I guess that's all the destructions we need, because that's all the destructions say to do. So there's different slicing thingies or blades or whatever you want to call them. I guess you can do like the side to side, the up and down, and put them both together, and there is your dices. Okay, so let's see. Useful tips. A good rule of thumb is to select fruits and vegetables that are firm and dense. So tomatoes might not dice in there, but the onions, oh yeah, they'll dice. Never use softs or very hard fruits or vegetables while dicing or thin slicing blades. So avocado, you're out too. For best results, prepare your fruit or vegetable by cutting a small piece off, creating a straight edge, Place the fruit or vegetable with cut side on the blade. I will do that. And cleaning, of course, you don't want to cut your fingers while you're cleaning, so they actually said cleaning the product carefully, of course. Okay, so let's see. There is, I guess that's the lid that goes onto the plastic so you can store your vegetable bits later. Isn't that creative? Okay, so we'll set that aside. And here is the unit. Oh, that is cute. I thought it was going to be bigger than that, but no, I guess it's not. It's just a little tiny thing. Okay, so it can be deceiving, I guess. Okay, and you got a lot of plastic in here too. So let's see, locking mechanism. That's the locking. Okay, so that unlocks that. That enables you to get at your blades. So you carefully. So I guess to crisscross, you just do like that. Yeah, I guess you do like that, and it just snaps into place. Being careful not to touch the blades that are inside, and you just press it down, I guess. Or let's see, maybe it goes this way. Because they gotta go in between where those fingers are.
Hold on. Let me see real quick.
What?
Because you have little lips right here.
Yeah.
Where that fits in.
Yeah, that fits in there.
So that one doesn't go that way.
No. I wouldn't go that way, so I'm carefully removing that. And yes, dropping things again. case you haven't noticed, folks, I am the master of dropping things. I am the king of all planet, in all worlds, of dropping things. And you think you're better at me than dropping things? No, I am the master king of dropping things. Believe me. I do it all the time, every single time I turn around, every time I touch something, it ends up on the floor. And then I have to pick it up and try again. Okay, so that's all you get.
If there was Olympics for dropping things, you'd be the winner.
I would win platinum. Forget about gold, I'd win platinum. Okay, so there's the unit. All by itself in its own nakedity. No blades. Okay, I'm going to set that on the side. And then you take, with a crisscross, I guess you put them both together like that. And it makes the crisscross design. And then that goes on the top. So there's the serrated edge, there's the serrated edge. Put them both together.
There you go.
And then you put them down here. There it is. See? That's what we need for the onions. So, and then you just push it down, onions get diced. Okay. And then, of course, there's our wedger for apples, potatoes, or anything you want to wedge. And I was going to try that with avocado, but it says no soft vegetable or fruit. And those are very soft, so we'll have to use a knife on the tomato and the avocado. But we're going to make a pico de gallo sauce. The first thing we're going to need is lots of cilantro. I have 1 bushel here, which may be more than enough to work with. And cilantro has got a very strong aroma. So when you slice it, you're going to get a good whiff of the cilantro. So we're going to chop our cilantro first, get it into the bowl, and we just only need the 1 bushel if we're going to be making a lot of pico de gallo. Otherwise, it's half a bushel, and you can cut them all, stems and all.
Oh, yeah, there's the smell.
Yep. If you haven't caught the smell yet, you sure will by the time you're done. And you can just chop all of that up finely, and every single bit of that cilantro can be used in your pico de gallo. And then we're just going to get out of the way, please. We're just going to do like this and get it chopped down even finer. Not too fine though. We just want to make sure that there's no humongous slices of pico de gallo, or cilantro rather, in our pico de gallo sauce. And once you get a size to be about like what you see now, it's just about perfect. Gather everything up. While you're doing that, just check on the size of your choppings, and if you're not satisfied, just do another run through. Just like that. Okay, perfect. And that's what we need for our cilantro, or the pico de gallo. Look at that big old stem in there. That didn't get chopped that finely, so I will take care of that real quick. Okay, perfect. Now, I'm going to take, and I love these cutting boards, you can just fold it right up, and everything goes right into the bowl. You can be vigorous with it, and look at that, clean. A little bit off the knife, perfect. Now let's start with our tomates. Now I have a tomato corer, and I decided, well, I only this only was what, $2.99 in the store, and I just picked it up. It's easy to core your tomatoes. That's all you really need to take out of there, and you can use the whole tomato. Just take out the top part, and this corer will do the job, and you won't have to worry about cut phalanges. Just have to worry about dropping the core onto the floor.
Oh, great dropper of things.
Yes, that is I. And if you want to, you can get this little nub here at the end, and now you can really use the whole tomato. Okay, one more. So I thought I was going to be able to demonstrate the tomato in there, but I guess now, because it says no soft vegetables or fruits, and what is tomato, a vegetable or a fruit? It could be either one. If you're going to argue that logic, argue it amongst yourselves, because I got cooking to do. Let's start with our tomatoes. And we're going to cut it down this way into slices. Careful not to let the knife slip.
Wait, can you do a tomato in a slap chop?
Probably not.
Okay.
Well, that's a small little thing. Maybe we can... No, that's even too small for that. My goodness, I can't... Well, I'll be able to fit a tomato in there anyway. I have to do it little pieces at a time. Alright, well, I thought I was gonna...
Well, I mean, with beef tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and just chop them down into cubes. Diced tomato in seconds. Let's go ahead and dump into the bowl our tomatoes. One more tomato to go. Just like that. And here go the rest of the tomatoes. Next. Okay, next is going to be the... Okay, I ran into a little bit of problem. You see, the onions that I selected are these really... Well, let me show you. These onions here. But, yeah, that's not going to work. Because there's an excess of it that's going to be hanging outside of the unit. So, you know, then you'd have to cut it down to size anyways, and if you're going to cut it, might as well go all the way, right? Why cut it so that you can chop them? Doesn't make sense. So I'm going to need me some small onions, about that size. About that size, look. Perfect, see? Perfect for this little tiny thing. Because I kind of misjudged the size of the box, the size of the unit. It looks bigger on the box than it does in your hand. Because look at this. It's like, you expect that thing to be like at least 5 times this size. You don't expect this to be a tiny little nothing like this. So that's already a point off for scale. But we can fix it. We're professionals. We can work around it. So, what I'm going to do is take as many of these onions as I can. I'm going to cut these down so I can get the skins off of them. And then we're going to put them through the ultimate test of seeing how easy these little tiny onions will do in that chopper. You know what? I'm going to cut them down even further in half like that so it makes it easier for me to do this. And just get the skins right off, because this is not like slap chop where the skin comes right off. I don't want to take that risk. Because what if the skin don't come right off? What if it just keeps on going and chopping? You might be in trouble. Okay, I think I've cut enough onion. Let's give it the test. Perfect. It sits right in there. Okay, now watch. Thumb there, thumb there. And look at that.
With a little pop.
Okay, now it's stuck. There it goes. Okay, and there are our chopped onions. And a little tear shed. Never hurt anybody? Let's see that again. Push. And look at that. Onions. Onions diced in just seconds. That it would take us lots of chops in that slap chop, but just takes mere seconds in the Nutri Chopper. There you go. More diced onion. We did what? 3 onion halves in here? It stores 3 onion halves worth. And look, the skin did come right off. Look at that. Okay, now.
Well, small onion.
I'm gonna pop that off. Ooh. And now, yeah, don't you hate it when you get the onions with the skins on the inside and the outside? So now I got to pick out the little pieces of skins that I've kind of developed inside of my onion. Oh, I'll just do it as I... Okay, that wasn't that much. I just see a little bit here and there. It's okay. Okay, so that didn't really do much, but it did shave a lot of that chop time in half. So now let me grab this again. Pop this back on. Oh. One thing about doing onions, folks, it's sure gonna make you cry. And it pops back on, and it holds really well. Let's get to more chopping. Just as easy as pie. Look at that, not even hardly an effort. Look at that. Look at that, see? 1, 2, 3. And how long would that take us in a slap chop? Oh, I don't know. A lot longer than this. So,
you want to wipe your eyes real quick? Or?
Yeah, I do. The only hard part is getting this apart without spilling your food. Okay, so that just comes right off. Dump your onions right in. And go again. But first, let me dry those eyes. Perfect. Alright. Reattach. And we're ready to go again. How many onions is that? Oh, I'm going to need a lot more onion than that. I need a lot more onion than that. Only thing I don't like about this product is that it's so small. Because, I mean, yeah, it works. You can chop your vegetables like it was nothing. Look at this. I'm just going right through everything. And just like it was nothing. Chopping everything down. Chopping everything down. Go on. And making sure the phalanges don't get stuck underneath. Okay, now I'm full. Now I'm really full. Okay, so that was 4 halves, 5 halves, I can last count, but yeah. They're all perfectly diced. And I dropped some on the floor, of course. Of course. Would you expect anything less of the master of dropping things on the floor? There's a skin in there. Get out of there. Okay. Snap it back on and go again. Okay. Just boom. Okay, how many onions have we got? That much. I say that should be good enough. Once more time. Dry those eyes. Ooh. Ooh, baby. When you're working with onions, folks, always keep a towel handy. Now we're going to mix our pico de gallo ingredients together. So far. We're going to fold everything because this is a lot of stuff. Oh, that's plenty of onion. I don't think we'll need any more onion than that. And then when you mix everything together, you'll find that your pico de gallo will look very lovely with a beautiful array of red, white, and green color. That's what we want. Now, if you want, you can add bell pepper. If you like that kind of thing, I really don't. Because of the flavor, I can't handle it. So, you won't see me adding bell pepper to this. However, that's where the lime comes in. I'm going to slice a lime in half. And we're going to use the juice from the lime to give it a nice lime flavor. This is how I make my pico de gallo. And we're going to squeeze as much juice without the seed. Okay. Squeeze as much of that lime juice as possible. And we'll just probably only need just a couple of lime worth of juices. Okay. Now we're going to mix that in. Make sure you get that lime to mix in and incorporate perfectly within our pico de gallo sauce. It's not really much of a sauce as much as it is a type of salsa. Okay. We'll go for another onion, or another lime, rather. I'm done with onions. No more onions. Please don't make me mess with no more onions. Well, at least we know it's good on dicing onions. But what we don't know, how good is it going to be in wedging a lime? So let's find out. Because we need a garnish for our plates. And that's where that last line comes in. Okay. And now number 2. Okay. Mix that back in. We're doing more folding than anything, as the bowl is pretty full, and if you start stirring, you're going to start flinging ingredients everywhere. We don't want to do that. So, that looks like a very beautiful bowl of pico de gallo. Now, I'm going to bring this back up. We're going to give it a quick rinse and see how well it cleans. It's already clean. And wash this through. Wash this through. And from the instructions, I think it said this was machine washable. And then, plain as a whistle, we're ready to go again.
Should we make sure?
What? Oh, I'll find out later. I'm pretty sure these are, no, I want to get rid of this first. Okay, so let's get rid of our blades. I'm going to put those guys in there. Put these guys in there. Get our wedger. And we're going to test the wedging tool on this lime. Lime is in there. All right, ready?
Wait.
We might have to slice it though.
Does that one? It doesn't require another thing underneath it,
no,
does it?
It's a wedger.
Okay.
The thing underneath it was to make the grid. But let's take this off and take this off first, because we don't want those end pieces on there. And for safe measure, cut it in half, just in case. Now we're ready to drop it on the floor. Now we're ready to wedge our lime. Okay, lime is in the center there. 1, 2, 3. Look at that! It wedged the lime! Look! Perfectly wedged lime, and I didn't lose any juices. Let's see that again with the one I dropped on the floor. Oh, master of dropping things, show us more of your talent. How about if I drop it on the counter?
Almost again.
Let's see that again. Can it be this easy? Yes, it is that easy. Look at that. You didn't lose a single juice out of there, and they're all perfectly wedged. Look at that. I am impressed. Look at that. Perfectly wedged lime. Beautiful for garnish on our carne asada. I'm going to keep those in there. Okay, so we wedged this. Now, we're going to put this in the sink and keep those in there. Now we're going to test this, and we're going to put a lid on it. Let's see how well this lid closes. Oh, and it snaps, and now we have a cover for our lime. Brilliant! I'm liking this product more and more, folks. Even though it's small and it's down to scale, and I did say you lose a couple of points because of scale, but you gain a point in usability and the ease of wedging the limes and the lemons, which we don't have any lemons, but it would wedge a lemon. Now I'm almost kind of wishing that we did wedge a tomato in there, but that's okay. That's okay. It's too big for tomatoes anyway, and it's going to be too big for these avocados. So now that we got our pico de gallo sauce, I'm going to go ahead and get started with my meat. And just for the sake of argument, since this is not really that big of a cooking video, and if you've already seen my carne asada video before, and if you haven't seen it before and you want to watch this one, you can stick around if you want. In fact, I would love it if you did. And we're going to take our beef. This is stir-fried beef that we're using. Stir fry beef comes in strips just like that. Okay, comes in strips, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut that down anyway because that is pretty big strips. But they're cut into strips just perfect size. All I have to do is just cut them down to size, and that'd be perfect for carne asada. Because I don't want these strips to be that long. After all, we are using stew meat on the side of that, so I want my strips to be fairly shorter. So I'm going to cut those down while I'm thinking about it. And don't worry, those of you thinking about cross-contamination, that we just cut vegetables on here, don't worry, the meat is what we save for last, and then after the meat has touched it, we are going to clean up after ourselves, and then we are going to cut our avocado after it's been cleaned. But we are far away enough from those onions, they won't cross-contaminate. And when I start cutting, that one's already ready. When I do start cutting, it's going to be far enough away from those onions over there so they won't cross-contaminate. I'm just going to be here for a short time, and we're going to just cut them down like that size. That's the size I want. So I can cut them into threes, and then right into the skillet it goes. Okay, perfect. Take another section here. 1, 2, and 3. Right into the skillet. This will be perfect strips for Beijing beef if you ever know how to make Beijing beef. Unfortunately, you need extra ingredients to make that. One, 2, 3, all into the skillet, all in. Okay, and it will also help to kind of just try to separate those as best as you can too. Now you get some big pieces, little pieces, that's okay. And now for our cubes, we're just going to drop that straight in. So it's going to be a mix of chunky versus strips. And we're going to get both kinds. Okay, we're going to let that cook for a bit. And then we are going to now clean everything down. Because now it has been exposed to meat, raw meat. The phalanges get cleaned. This cutting board gets cleaned. The counter gets cleaned. The utensils get cleaned. Everything gets cleaned after meat has been introduced to our area. And now, the Nutri Chopper, which has not touched raw meat but was still in the vicinity thereof, also gets very disinfected. Soap and very hot water, and you will realize that while we are disinfecting our Nutri Chopper, you will see how well it cleans. It's amazing. Alright. Now everything is clean once again. That spoon I am saving for the pico de gallo. This spoon I am merely going to use to stir our beef, and that's a lot of beef. How many pounds of beef do you think I got in here? Well, it may just very well be 4 pounds worth of beef. So that's essential in making carne asada, burritos, ole! Right, so we're going to let this cook for a while. And then we're going to add our taco seasoning to it, because yes, I do add taco seasoning to carne asada to make the flavor of a taco-like or burrito-like dish. And we got 3 packets of taco seasoning there. We got our pico de gallo sauce waiting in the wings. We got our lime wedges waiting to be garnished on a plate. And we got cheese and avocado. So we're going to put all of this together and make carne asada burritos. You better believe it. So I will show you the next step and what these babies will look like when we are finished cooking our beef. And we will see you in another, give or take, 15 minutes. Okay, so I have added the appropriate amount of water, plus the appropriate amount of seasoning, and let the carne asada become carne asada, and now it is now taco seasoned carne asada. And that's what's going to be the base of our carne asada burritos. Olé! And the beans are going to be served on the side. So you never put beans in a carne asada burrito. It's just meat, and pico de gallo, and cheese, and avocado, or guacamole if you make guacamole, but avocado, nice raw vegetable there. And, of course, carne asada. So, we're going to reach for our tortillas that we had steaming in the microwave for about a couple minutes. Oh yeah, they're nice and steamed. And the proper way to steam tortillas, the best way to steam tortillas, is right inside your microwave. And all you need to do is, for a small package of 8, you need to just only put it in for about 45 seconds, but leave it in the packaging. It's not going to melt, you know, it's not going to be dangerous, it's not going to melt, but it's going to help trap in all that moisture and thus allowing your tortillas to steam in your microwave. It's not going to, the plastic that encases it is not going to harm the tortillas in any way. You're only putting it in for 45 seconds. For a big package like that, 2 minutes, maybe 3. Still, don't worry about the plastic. It's not going to harm the tortillas. I'm just going to give this a final mix and rinse and see that all of my seasoning has coated every piece of our carne asada just beautifully. So now, to show you how to roll a carne asada burrito. First, you start off with the meat. You only need a little bit of meat there. Well, a little more than that. About like that much. That much meat. You're going to take it over here. So our pico de gallo, and you're going to need about a spoonful of that. Perfect. Then we're going to reach for some avocado slices. And we're just going to pop those right in the middle there. You just need maybe 5, 6, however much you want. And then a burrito isn't a burrito until you add the cheese. And a little sprinkle of cheese. And there we go. Carne asada. A little taco sauce for good measure. This is that homemade sauce that I made. And if you want that recipe, look at my Taco Bell video. But I'm not going to show you how to make it again because I've already made it. So if you want to see how I made that sauce, check out that video. Then we're going to roll all of our ingredients into a burrito and just fold one side of it because all that extra goodness is going to make for a very messy burrito if you close both sides. And I'm going to open up our handy little storage container, place a couple of wedges of lime right there. And there we have carne asada burritos. And there's our frijoles. Frijoles con queso. There is a beautiful Mexican dish. Let's taste the carne asada burrito. I like to add just a little extra squeeze of lime in mine. Of course, the juices are squirting everywhere else but into the burrito. Alright, taste test. I really love a good carne asada burrito, don't you? And you get a beautiful mix of flavor from your pico de gallo, a little hint of lime in there, the beef, the cheese, everything just accents beautifully. Muy delicioso. So, well, you really can make a really good carne asada burrito if you just pay attention to my videos and just do what I do. You can experience the same taste. But not everybody can experience the Nutri Chopper. And let's take a moment to examine the box. The reason why I thought this was bigger than what it ended up to be, that's a typical red onion. Now, red onions are freaking huge. They're like this. And I thought that's what that was. And I thought the size would be big enough for at least a half an onion to go through. But as it turns out, it's only big enough for these little tiny ones, the baby onions. You can do shallots in there real easily. But as for bigger onions, you better stick with a slap chop and just cut it into wedges. But other than that, I mean, yeah, you can wedge tomatoes in there, but even though it says don't use soft tomato or soft foods, but then it says tomato on the side of the box. But you can slice cucumbers with these. You can block cheese. You can dice cheese, make cubes out of pretty much damn near anything, and wedge anything as well, as long as it fits. So let's do the point system now, and then I'll serve everybody some carne asada burritos. So we'll start with 5 points on the Nutri Chopper. Perfect score all the way through. We're going to take points off for any bad points. We're going to keep some points on for good points. Good point, it does what it says. It chops onions with ease, and it wedges lime and lemon beautifully. And I can only imagine what it will do for mushrooms and for eggs and other things that we can wedge, like apples and potato and all of that good stuff. But the only problem is you have to find them small enough. So even though you can easily find small potatoes and small onions, that's just what it is. Small potatoes, small onions. Everything has to be small. So that's a point off. So the scale, when you look at the box, the scale is not up to size. It misleads you into thinking you're going to get something big. That's another point off. The misleading of the box. Because look at that onion. Red onion. Red onions aren't that small. They're big. That's what I thought I was getting. A big unit. Look at the size of the box. You can easily fit something that will dice a whole red onion in here. So that's a point off for deceit. The scale itself is another point off. So that's 2 points off from this product. But it does chop with ease. So that's a point. It is easy to clean. 2 points. And the pieces are easy to assemble. And you get a very cute little container for any leftovers, like those wedges. So that's another point. So Nutri Chopper, you've got it great with the chopping, you've got it great, but the problem is now we have to stick to smaller food. And we have to find small food in order to use you. And if we can't find small food, we have to cut big food down to size. And if we've already cut it down to size, we might as well go all the way and not even bother with this. So there you go. 3 points. I give this product 3 out of 5 stars. So, but don't take my word for it. Try this yourself if you find one of these. It's a nice little gadget, and I am not saying, I'm putting that way too mildly. It is a little gadget. So, I mean, you can make use out of that if you want to, but frankly, I'll just use it whenever I have small food. But otherwise, I'll just stick to my slap chop and work with that. So, for Consumer Reports, this is SonicBlu, and I'm going to eat some carne asada burritos. Ta-ta, everybody.